Hello, this is Tracy Williams. I am the owner and team leader of the War Group brokered by eXp Realty. And I wanted just to give you a personal video. And we, first of all, want to thank you for letting us list your home. It is truly an honor to go to battle for our sellers and our buyers, but our sellers in this case. And I just want to thank you for trusting us to help get you sold. We work really hard at everything we do. We do work full time. I did want to reach out to you because we have had some changes, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with the NAR litigation that has taken place. It was actually a lawsuit that the DOJ had gotten involved in, and of course, it prevailed. So basically, the litigation was that there was a commissions that were not being disclosed by certain brokerages, not eXp Realty, by the way. But that is, it did affect the way that we do things. So things are going to be changing, and it's actually not a bad thing. It's just clear transparency. It's kind of creating a level playing field, if you will, on both sides. So I am not an attorney. I don't play one on in TV or on, in real life. So just first of all, to let you know that, but as a licensed professional, and this is actually coming down from my broker as well, we have had a ton of training on exactly what the expectations are for how we're going to do things. So yes, things have changed. We are no longer allowed to offer compensation in the multiple listing service. So typically what has happened in the past is we have a listing agreement. So if you take a look at your listing agreement that you have with War Group Broker by eXp Realty to list your home, basically what it says is that, there is a commission that's paid to eXp Realty. And from that commission, it is actually broken down where eXp Realty is paying a cooperating broker, the buyer's broker. Okay. And that commission is separated from there because that's what the commission would be paid to the buyer's broker for bringing a buyer who brought an offer on your home to purchase it. And then that way, so technically, yes, that money is still coming out of your net proceeds, so to speak. But typically, what has happened in the past is, and if you think about it, actually, buyers who purchase the home are usually using a mortgage. So 70% of buyers use a mortgage to purchase a home. And so what they're doing is they're actually financing those closing costs and including commissions into the actual cost of the mortgage. Well, that's kind of been something that we have done through all of our real estate time. But that has changed. So now we cannot have, list that there is any kind of commission to a buyer's broker. So that has separated out. It's been uncoupled. The commissions, we have our fee for service. And so I have an amendment coming your way because we have to provide this amendment per DOJ guidelines in our MLS. And it's adhered to by our brokers as well. So we are going to comply with that. And basically what it says is that you have 3 ways to now offer compensation. You can choose to actually 4. You can offer to do 0 and not offer any compensation. The second way is for the buyer to pay the buyer's broker, okay, which means you're doing 0 part of it, right? You can choose to pay the buyer's broker, but that's done through seller concessions to the buyer. And then from that seller concessions to the buyer then pays the buyer's broker. So there's this amendment is going to be coming your way. It should be pretty self-explanatory, but I'm happy to go over all this with you. I just wanted to kind of make it very clear as to why we were having this change in case you had not heard that there was, a litigation situation. So just, keep in mind that there is also on the flip side of that for anybody who's going to be hosting an open house or doing a showing, buyers cannot come preview a property So the way that we have it is that a buyer's broker, that agent that represents that broker, comes and shows the property, right? Whether they're coming on their own and they've requested a showing through showing request and you've approved that showing, or they're coming into an open house and they're coming with an agent, with a realtor. They have to have an agreement in place now that they are going to be paying commission to that buyer's broker in whatever X is, whatever amount they agree to. So that is going to be something else that is going to be changing. And so we are making sure on our side that we do have all those documents, in place as well. Now, here's the other thing is another broker, a buyer's broker, does not have to produce that agreement. But if they're found in violation, it could be an issue, that they got to deal with DOJ on. For eXp Realty and the War Group brokered by eXp, we are requiring that before we even go show a property, we're going to have an agreement in place with a buyer, right? So we're going to demand that on the listing side, and we're going to make sure that we have all those documents in order too. It will change a little bit if another eXp agent is also bringing a buyer to your property to present an offer, or even just to show it. So there's a few things that will take place there, and we'll address those things. I don't want to convolute all that, issue right now. So the main thing is that they will be, there will be two sets of commissions. Okay, one that you're going to be paying eXp Realty, our fee for service, and then one that the buyer's broker is going to be getting as a fee for service. So just keep this in mind. You have three different options. You pay 0 to the buyer pays the buyer's broker. You offer to pay a buyer's broker through concessions. Okay. So what that means is you can offer concessions to pay the buyer's broker. Now, here's something to keep in mind. It's first of all, your choice. And this is really what it does is it kind of puts everything back into your choice. So if you were offering compensation to a buyer's broker in the amount of X, and let's say you list your house for 500,000, and before this even conversation, we already had this in the agreement that you were going to offer X. If you decide to offer 0 and a buyer goes and looks at a house that's very similar to yours, and they have to come up with those funds to pay their broker their fee for service, and they don't have any help from your side and you're not willing to negotiate, that's up to them and that's up to you. Because at the end of the day, the house is going to sell for what the seller wants to sell it for and the buyer wants to purchase it for. So that's just something to keep in mind as we're going through this. So just wanted to kind of update you as to how things have changed, why you're getting this amendment. I didn't want to just send it your way. And that is, wanted to be sure that you understood what the change and what caused that. So, anything, and my recommendation is always wait until an offer comes in and then you can choose how you want to handle it. That's also another option. You don't have to make a decision on whether you're going to offer compensation or not. It's best practice to go ahead and put something in place, but it is something that we can make negotiable because, again, we're going to get into strategy. We're going to get into negotiations. We're going to look at the data to make sure that we're putting you in the best position to leverage your sale of your home. So if you have any questions, reach out to me directly. My number is 904-463-6001 is my cell phone. Best way to reach me is through the team line, just in case I'm with a customer already. It's 904-274-8997. And I look forward to helping get your home sold. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Just reach out to us. That's what we're here for. All right. Have a great day.